Okay. Okay. So this is an impulse train, and we have to find out the exponential Fourier series for this impulse train. Can you find the exponential Fourier series directly? Yes. Any answers? See, if you try to evaluate the exponential Fourier series directly, it will be actually complicated, because see, this here we have taken a impulse, and we know that the width of the impulse tends to 0, and the height of the impulse tends to infinity. So it will be quite difficult to find out the Fourier series for such a impulse train. Okay. So, however, what we could do is, instead of this impulse train, we could take a pulse train and we could try to find out the Fourier series. And later on, we will reduce that pulse train into impulse train. Okay. So, what we could do instead is, in place of this impulse train, we will take a pulse train like this. Okay. There will be pulses like this, in this way. So these are all rectangular pulses, okay, and they are located at 0, then t0. This is your 2t0, and on the other side it is your minus t0, okay, and this is your minus 2t0. In this way, it will go on like this. So if we take a pulse train like this and we try to find out the Fourier series for it, okay, and later on we will try what we will do is, see, we will initially assume that the amplitude of this pulse train is a, amplitude is a, and the width is tau. Tau is the width. So, and the period is t0. Okay. So if we try to find the Fourier series of this pulse train, and later on, what we will do, we will try to make the area a tau tends to 1 and your tau tends to 0. If we put these conditions, it will become an impulse train. Okay, so instead of directly finding the Fourier series for the impulse train, which will be complicated, we'll try to find the Fourier series of a pulse train. Okay, this pulse train is periodic and has the same period as that of the impulse train. And further, uh, we have taken these particular conditions. Okay, that the amplitude is a, and the width is actually tau. Okay, width is actually tau. Then what we will be later on deducing, later on we will be putting a tau tends to 1 and tau tends to 0, and this will just satisfy our conditions, and it will make it an the Fourier series for the impulse train. Okay, got it? Why we are taking a pulse train?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us find the exponential Fourier series for this pulse train. Okay, so let us do that. So let me write. We can find exponential Fourier series, FS in short, for this rectangular pulse train. Okay, so we know the formula, formula for the, or this expression for the exponential Fourier series. So it is like this. So exponential Fourier series Fs for Fourier series is expressed as your x of t is equal to summation of n equal to minus infinity to infinity, okay, Cn e to the power j n omega 0 t, okay, which is also equal to summation. Here I had used Vn. In the earlier class I had used Vn. I am just denoting it as Cn, so there is no issue in that. So Cn e to the power j 2 pi n small t by t0. Okay. So omega 0 is there. So I have written that in this way. Omega 0 is equal to 2 pi f0. F0 is equal to 1 by t0. So in the, we could also write it in this way that I have shown it here. Okay. Now, let me write omega 0 is equal to 2 pi f0, or it is also equal to 2 pi by t0. So that is what I have used in the earlier equation. Now the thing is, I have to find the value of Cn in this expression. So let me find that. Please do not type your roll number. So I have to find the value of Cn here. So Cn is equal to, okay, 1 by T0 integral from minus T0 by 2 to your T0 by 2, okay, x of t e to the power minus j n omega 0 t dt. This is our normal formula. So let us evaluate it. Let us put the value of x of t here. Okay. So we know that the value of x of t is how much? It is a. Huh? So we could write it as 1 by t0. Okay. Then integral from, acha, the width of that pulse is, let me just go back. Okay. So here you could see for each pulse, if we take one pulse, okay. So let me just enlarge that pulse. That pulse is like this. If you could see it, this pulse is like this. Okay. The width is tau, which means minus tau by 2 to tau by 2, and the height is a. Okay. I think you could see it clearly now. Okay. So let us put this value in the inside that integral. Let me put it. So it will be from minus tau by 2 to your tau by 2. Okay. So the value is a, amplitude is a. So e to the power minus j n. Okay. Then omega 0 is there. Omega 0 t is there. In place of that, let me put there 2 pi. Okay. 2 pi by t0. So 2 pi t by t0. Okay. dt. So let me now just integrate it. Okay. And find out the result. So you could also do this yourself. Just integrate it and tell me how much you are getting. Tell me. Take some time and you tell me what is the integral of this. E to the power a will actually come out. So it will become a by t0. Then whatever is there on the top, minus j 2 n pi, everything is there, that will come to the denominator. So you will get at around, let me just write it here. You will put the upper limit, lower limit, and then you will get minus a by j 2n pi. Just remember one thing, j here is actually the complex number I. Same thing. We represent it as j here. So e to the power minus j 2 pi n tau by 2 t0. Okay. That minus e to the power j 2 pi n tau by 2 t0. This is what we will be getting. Just ensure all of you have got the same answer.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So which is equal to, now if we put the Euler's formula here, we could just express this in terms of sine. I think you know it. So it could be written as a by n pi. Okay. I will just release that sign inside, that minus sign is then I will release it inside the bracket so that the order of these two terms will be changed. It will be, the positive one will be in the front. So we will get a by n pi sine pi n tau by t0. This is what we will be getting. Got it? So now the what we have to do is we have to convert this into the sinc pulse. Okay. So let me use that. See, it could be converted into sinc only if it is in the form sine x by x. In that form, if it is available, then only we could do it. So what I will do, whatever is inside this sine, inside this bracket, okay, sine pi and tau by t0 is there. So I will multiply that to the numerator as well as denominator. Okay. So if we multiply the same if we multiply that to the numerator and the denominator, we will be getting this much. Your Cn, okay, is equal to, I think we will be getting here a tau by t0. Let me write it here. A tau by t0 sinc n tau by t0. Okay. So we have taken it like this: sine pi x by pi x is equal to sec of x. So in this way, we will be getting this much sine n tau by t0. So let it be equation number 1. I hope it is clear up to this. Okay. The next thing that we have to do is this Fourier series that we have found out, this value of Cn that we have found out. This is only for what? This is only for the pulse train. However, what we need is the Fourier series for the impulse train. Okay, so how can we do that? uh, we have taken a pulse like this, okay, whose width is tau. Okay, this width is actually tau of this pulse and the amplitude is a. So if we put these conditions that the area is length into width, so a tau, okay, it tends to 1, okay, and the width, which is your tau, tends to 0, then this pulse will become an impulse. If these conditions are satisfied, then only. So let us use these conditions on the value of Cn. Okay. So let me write here what we have done. So it may be, you can note it down. It may be observed that the rectangular pulse, okay, of above figure would approach your unit impulse if its area a tau tends to, let me write it here, area a tau tends to 1 and width tau tends to 0. Okay, so it is shown above. So let us apply these limits to the value of Cn. Hence, it is obvious that we can obtain your Cn for an unit impulse train simply by applying limits, okay, as shown above, okay, above, to your equation 1, which is the value of Cn. So we will be applying these limits. So let us apply the limits. So Cn is equal to your limit, okay, a tau tends to 1 and your tau tends to 0. Okay, so these two limits need to be applied to that equation, and that equation was a tau by t0 sec n tau by t0. Okay, so that was the expression. So now let us put one by one the values of a tau, that those limits. Okay, so this will, if we put that a tau tends to 1, I think it will become limit, okay, the tau tends to 0, okay, 1 by t0, okay, because a tau we have already put as 1, then sec n tau by t0. Okay, now if you put the that tau tends to 0, that sec 0 will become 1. Okay, so I can write it like this also, 1 by t0 could come out, so limit tau tends to 0 sec n tau by t0. Okay, and if I put this tau tends to 0 in this equation, it will become 1 by t0, since your sec of 0 is actually 1, so it will be 1 by t0. So this is what we will be getting. Now see, this is just the value of Cn, this is not the total Fourier series. Okay, so now let us put this value of Cn in the equation for the exponential Fourier series. Okay, let me write here, Cn is equal to 1 by t0. Okay, so thus we could write, thus the exponential Fourier series is given by your x of t, okay, is equal to summation of n is equal to minus infinity to infinity Cn e to the power j 2 pi n t by t0. So if I put the value of Cn there, putting the value of your Cn, this equation will now become x of t is equal to 1 by t0. See, in place of Cn, just I have put 1 by t0. Okay, summation of n is equal to minus infinity to infinity. Okay, then e to the power j 2 pi n t by t0. So this is the equation for sorry, this is the Fourier series for the impulse train. Okay, the next thing that we will be doing is to plot the magnitude and the phase spectrum. Okay, this is also simple. The magnitude and phase spectrum. Okay, can be plotted as below. Sometimes they will ask you to plot the magnitude and phase spectrum. Okay, so simply your Cn mod is what we have to plot. Cn mod. Okay, that is the magnitude of uh, different frequency components. Okay, so we had the time. So let's say this is 0. Okay, so the time was t0. So the frequency will be 1 by t0. Okay, similarly time was 2 t0. Okay, okay, the frequencies will be like this. One is 1 by 2 is to t0. Then the second is 2 by t0. Then it will be 3 by t0. In this way, these will be the frequencies. 4 by t0. So these will be the frequencies. Okay. Similarly, on the other side, it will be the negative minus 1 by t0, minus 2 by t0, minus 3 by t0. Okay. And here we have to plot the value of Cn mod. Okay, so Cn is actually, as you could see, the value of Cn is 1 by t0. Let me just show you. The value of Cn is 1 by t0. So if you find the magnitude of it, it will be again 1 by t0. So it will be denoted like this. See, this is 1 by t0. Here also it will be 1 by t0. Whatever you take the value of n, C1, C2, C3, C4, C0, whatever you take, it will be 1 by t0. So it will be like. In other questions, you may have some other values. If it is a complex value, you could always find out the magnitude. So in this way, you have to plot. So all the values are 1 by t0. Simply whatever value of Cn you obtain, take the mod of it, okay, magnitude of it, and you could plot it here. Similarly, this will be called, this will be called the magnitude spectrum. Okay. Similarly, we could also plot the phase spectrum. It is also simple. Only you have to find the argument of your Cn, which is equal to your phi n. Okay, and it could be evaluated in this way: minus tan inverse. Okay, whatever value you have, so minus tan argument of Cnm, which is equal to minus tan inverse. Okay, bn by an. This is how we used to find it out. Okay, or bn by n, so that means whatever complex number you have in that Cn. Okay, so let me write it in this way, it will be much, otherwise you will be confused. So in this particular problem, if you take the value of Cn, there is only real part and there is no imaginary part. If there had been an imaginary part, we could have put it here. So it will be like this: the imaginary part divided by the real part. Okay, so in this case, as you could see, there is no imaginary part, so it will be tan inverse. Okay, so 0 by 1 by t0. So it will be like this. So I think it will be equal to 0. We will be getting 0 here actually. Okay, and if we plot it, it will look like this. This is your 0. This is your 1 by t0. then there is 2 by t0, then there is your 3 by t0 in this way. So all those values are actually 0, minus 1 by t0, minus 2 by t0 in this way, minus 3 by t0. So in this way you have to plot it, the magnitude and the phase spectrum. So mostly you will be getting some questions on these impulse trains, these pulse trains, etc. Sometimes, in this case, as you have seen, that the pulses were located exactly at T0, then 2T0, 3T0 in this way. In some question, some other question, the pulse might be at 0, then 2T0, then 4T0, then 6T0. In that way, it could be also there. The next thing that we will be doing is the Fourier transform. Fourier transform. Okay, so this is a transform which has actually wide applications. Whatever advancements you see in the field of digital filtering, like the graphic equalizers you are using in the mobile, etc., are a direct result of this Fourier transform. This is such a powerful equation that it could convert the time domain signal into frequency domain and vice versa. It could bring back the frequency domain signal into the time domain. Okay, mostly the 4G that you are using, it also uses a kind of Fourier transform. Okay, so it has a wide sort of applications. Okay, starting from your communication theory to your digital signal processing, like so many areas of applications are there. Okay, the DVD players that you see now, or the CD players that you have seen, which use a lot of digital signal processing techniques, are a result of this Fourier transform. Okay, we'll see some of the properties of Fourier transform which have actually enabled these things. Okay, so let me just show you how the Fourier series looks like. So a periodic waveform may be expressed as a sum of spectral components. Okay, as we were doing in the Fourier series in the same way. So the Fourier transform, okay, is given by this equation. This is the simplest form of the Fourier transform. V of f is equal to integral from minus infinity to infinity v of t e to the power minus j 2 pi f t dt. Got it? This is a simple expression, and like the Fourier transform would be expressed in this way, where v of f is the signal v of t in the frequency
So what
domain.
you have written the sum of
Which one? V of
first
f is equal to, acha, now you could see sum of spectral components. So here you could see that v of t is the signal in the time domain. Okay, let me just show you. This is in the time domain. Okay, time domain. Whereas this v of f is in the frequency domain. Okay, so when the signal is transformed into the frequency domain, a lot of possibilities are possible, which we will see when we will be studying about the properties of Fourier transform. Okay, so since your omega is equal to, since we know that omega is equal to 2 pi f, right? And we also know that d omega is equal to 2 pi df. Okay, so sometimes what happens, this equation that you see above is expressed in the terms of omega. So when you express it in the terms of omega, in the form of omega, like in the place of that v of f, there will be v of omega. Okay, so in that case, this 2 pi will be multiplied in one of the Fourier transform pairs. Okay, So let me write it and let me show you the Fourier transform pair equations. So since omega is equal to 2 pi f and d omega is equal to 2 pi df, okay. So a factor 2 pi is required in one of the Fourier transform pairs or pair equations. Okay. So the Fourier transform pair in alternate form, the FT is short for Fourier transform pair in alternate form is expressed as in this way. So V of omega, okay, so is equal to Fourier transform of f. When we write f, it is Fourier transform of V of t, okay. So which is equal to integral from minus infinity to infinity V of t, okay, e to the power minus j omega t dt, okay. Got it? Similarly, if you want to come back to the time domain from the frequency domain, you have to use this equation V of t. Okay, remember that this V that you see here, this V is actually your uppercase or capital, uppercase, and this V that you see here is the lowercase. It is a way of denoting. Okay, so small v of t is equal to inverse Fourier transform, which is f inverse, okay, capital V of omega in this way is equal to 1 by 2 pi, okay, integral from minus infinity to infinity V of omega, capital V of omega, e to the power j omega t d omega. Okay, so in this way it is expressed. So that 1 by 2 pi, that 2 pi whatever you see there, it is because we have expressed this equation in the terms of omega. If you write these two equations in the terms of f, in place of that omega, if you write it as f, then you do not need to use that 2 pi there. 1 by 2 pi is there, na? So that 2 pi you do not need to use. Okay. So now I would like to ask you, try to compare these equations with the exponential Fourier series. What do you find? Do you find any similarities or any differences? You could see actually that both the things are actually same. You could see that the exponential form of Fourier series and this one are quite similar. Let me just write the exponential form of Fourier series here, okay, so that you could easily compare it. Okay, let me just rewrite it. So the exponential form of Fourier series was like this, okay, exponential Fourier series, okay. So you are writing like this, V of t, okay, is equal to summation of n is equal to minus infinity to infinity Vn e to the power j 2 pi n t by t0, isn't it? This is how you are denoting it, and you are evaluating Vn like this. Vn is equal to 1 by t0 integral from minus t0 by 2 to t0 by 2, okay. V of t e to the power minus j 2 pi n t by t0, okay. So you just look at these two formula, you just look at this, okay, and you look at, let me just reduce the size, let you look at this equation, aren't they same? V of t e to the power minus j omega t, and on the bottom you could see 2 pi n t by t0. What is that 2 pi n by like 2 pi n t by t0? T0 is equal to 1 by t0 is equal to f0. So you could also write that as omega. So they are actually quite similar. Okay.
Yes,
The
sir.
only difference is that in the Fourier series, you are there in the time domain. You are not going into the frequency domain. In the time domain only, okay, you are able to visualize the different frequency component, the strength or magnitude of different frequency components. Whereas in the Fourier transform, you are going back to the, you are going to the frequency domain, okay, and you are visualizing the signal there, okay. That is the only difference, otherwise things are similar. So now what we will do is we will try to find the Fourier transform of your unit impulse del of t. And so question is like this: find the Fourier transform. Find the Fourier transform, okay, of your unit impulse, which is given by your del of t, okay, an impulse of unit strength. It might be a it may look pretty simple unit impulse, but it is quite powerful, okay, it is quite powerful. Let's see. So let us do the solution. Let us find the Fourier transform of it, okay. So let me just remind you some of the properties of this unit impulse, okay. So you could note it down, okay. We know that an impulse del of t is equal to 0 except, okay, at your small t is equal to 0, okay. And further it has the property, that your integral from minus infinity to infinity, okay, del of t dt is equal to 1. This is something we know, okay. So let us try to find the Fourier transform of it now that we have remembered its properties. It looks like this, right? It looks like this. It is only present at t is equal to 0. At other places, it is absent, and its strength is 1. So let us find the Fourier transform of it. Okay. So the formula is like this: V of f is equal to integral from minus infinity to infinity, your del of t e to the power minus j 2 pi f t dt. This is the formula. Now, if you could recall the property of the unit impulse, that whenever we multiplied the unit impulse with any function, let me just write that property here. We have already discussed that property when we were studying about the signals and systems, okay, the multiplication of a function by unit impulse. So if you multiply, let's say, phi of t with your del of t, okay, then what will happen? It will be phi of 0 into del of t, if you could recall it, right? So in this case, you could see that this thing is in the place of your phi of t, and this is your del of t. So what will happen to this equation? Can you tell me? So it will be reduced to integral from minus infinity to infinity, your del of t, okay, multiplied with e to the power 0. Why it became? Because we have used this property here, okay, dt. So which is equal to 1, okay. So it will be equal to del of t. However, if you integrate del of t from minus infinity to infinity, it will be equal to 1, okay. So this is the Fourier transform for the unit impulse function.